was like my mission, like what is life, what is the purpose here, what is the truth. And I was researching like cultures, like metaphysics, just like astrology, tarot card, like anything and
Mm.
everything that could give me an answer. And I did feel like I was so close to getting it, because it was that let it go, just let everything go. And then it, boom, that happened, the overdose. And like you said, that's what it felt like after, was like I had to learn how to like just live in this, that new dimension again. And it was like, it wasn't that I didn't know the people that I was really close to before this happened. It was like they didn't know me, and it felt weird because before it was like so close relationship, like just like, oh man. But then when I got out of the hospital, it was like they didn't, it wasn't the same, and I could feel the difference. And I remember it breaking my heart, because it was like I had to learn everything all over again. I was so lost. And it was, yeah, that's what it felt like. It felt like I had to restart from the beginning, and it was really hard. And I went through a really, really hard time. Like before this happened, I was like bawling. I was like doing business. I was like brand new clothes every day. We had a good click. Everything was going good. And then after all of that, it was like that didn't even happen. And I was struggling, had to start right from the bottom and just struggle, struggle, struggle. And I remember that, at like, even now thinking about it, how heartbroken I was, because it was like not the same. But I
Yeah.
missed something, that it was like, did it even exist though? I knew it did though. I don't know, it was, yeah, it was really.
It was I don't know, like I don't even know how to explain it. And it's like I think you're the third person to even for me to even share this with ever since yeah.
Oh wow.
You know, like like the third person. And it's like, how can you go and share that with somebody who doesn't understand spiritually?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, even for instance too, like I think about it on a daily basis, now that I've, you know some days, not even some days, like, people, other acquaintances that I have, they're like, oh my god, you're just cooked from all the drugs. You know what? Maybe, just maybe, you know what I mean? But
Mm.
nobody can tell me what I am and what I'm not, right?
Yeah.
For instance too, like, why is it that in the mental health society, when people get diagnosed with schizophrenia, bipolar, all these mental health things, and they get put on, uh not antidotes, but like medication for
Mm.
all their gifts to be blocked out and put in a psych ward? For
Yeah.
what? Right?
Yeah.
Like, I think schizophrenia is like a friend within, maybe plenty.
Yeah, like they're all gifts. All of these like mental health
They're
diagnoses,
all
they're all
gifts.
gifts that they're just making it. I yeah. Oh my gosh,
You
that
know
makes
what I
sense.
mean? Like, even too, like, I was talking with my son's father this morning. Actually, he didn't really put me on the spot, but he said something to me. He's like, "Well, how do you know if the voices in your head are not just your own voice?" I know, I can feel them. They're different.
Mm.
Like, I know my voice for sure, like the higher version of myself, a past version of myself. But then when I receive downloads, it's like my voice, but it feels different,
Yeah.
right?
No, I know what you mean.
And it's like, the people who, holy, the people who are always trying to find the truth. For instance, what are those one guys? Anyways, he was captured, and obviously he died because he was like revealing the truth about everything, like the laws of the universe and stuff like that.
Holy smokes.
I don't even know his name. I don't even know. But even at that too, like, I don't even know.
I don't know. I do believe that when you get close to finding the truth, like that they try and stop you, whatever they is, right?
Yeah.
And so, and you know what? I just also got a download that for me, every time I drink or like do a substance, the timeline switches. So it's like our substances like kind of like used as portals or something like that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Cause, like, why is it like when I was smoking meth, okay, I could see all the gang stalkers. I could see all the people that were watching me. Energy doesn't lie. I would see them. Even yesterday, I took my son to the park yesterday, okay? I'm clean and sober. Every time I take my son on a walk, I see these two women's with their same dogs. Every goddamn time I take him outside.
Whoa.
Every goddamn time. And it's like, have you ever noticed, like, when you could be walking, yeah, I get it. Like, I don't believe in coincidences, but you see people with their phones. All of a sudden, their cameras are pointing for what?
I'm gonna be
You know
more
what I
aware.
mean? Like, this is how my awareness is like,
Yeah, or like seeing the same vehicle. I see the same vehicle all the
right,
time, like, and it's always a yellow vehicle. Like, and my daughter will even say, "Oh, there's that yellow vehicle again," and it's
right.
every time we go out.
So have you ever wondered now, like, what is it that you have that other people don't have, or what is it that you have
Ooh,
that you can't see but others can see,
right? Ooh, that
right?
makes sense. Yeah, that's wild.
And it's like, you know, I sit in a lot of solitude. I could go on and on about topics upon topics, and it's like, to somebody else who's not awake,
Mhm.
I sound crazy. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah,
I do know what you mean. Yeah, because you try and like, you kind of get a feeling that someone you want them to understand you, and then you kind of like just say what you want to say, and then they're like, "Oh, that's nice," and just kind of like pass it off, and you're like, "Shit,
right?
I just wasted that." Yeah, like
Well,
I just wasted that moment on you.
settle down. Well, it's like, I think now I've actually gotten to realize, and again with my son's father, I have to apologize to him sometimes where I'm like, yeah, I I'm starting to understand that not everybody can see and feel exactly how I see and feel.
Mm,
Sometimes when the universe puts those glasses on you, you can't take them off, and you can't force somebody else to see or feel what you see. It's like, you know,
yeah, and that explains the solitude. I get it.
right? And it's like, trust me, as much as I want to go out, just go out. But then I'd be so drained the next day. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? The dancing around in the devil's jungle. You know what I mean? Like, and yeah, I get like everyone needs healing or the frequency of somebody else. You know what I mean? To like motivate or elevate someone's life, right? But it's like, I don't even know where I was going with that. It's kind of all over the
No,
place.
I get it. I get it. No, I get it because that explains it's like that little episode. It's like you crave like that energy, like someone's energy. Even when you're alone, like being alone is easy, but still you're like, I need that energy, like that dopamine, right? And so you're like break
Yeah.
out of your little mold and you're like, okay, I'm gonna go test it out,
Right?
go check it out, and then you're kind of like after, like that wasn't the best idea, but it happened. So what am I gonna learn from it? What did I learn? That
Right. And I still think, like, even like, I always talk about, like, oh my god, the foods have chemicals, oh my god,
Mhm.
but at the end of the day, I'm just a spirit having a human experience. I'm not going to let a little bit of chemicals here or there stop me from living, right?
And that's what I learned was like to let it go. It was because it's like every little thing, like, what about that? Let it go. What about that? Let it go. And that was like what I was learning before I went into that overdose was like, now that I remember is just to let shit go. Like as soon as the thought, and then when I got visited by that being, that was the same message. Oh my God. The being, yeah, was like pretty much like train your mind, like all these things, because it's like, trying to live like by this type of way, but I need these like reminders because I get out of like whack sometimes. But that was the message, like train your mind to like not even think these thoughts and they won't affect you because whatever you think you create, right?
Yeah.
And so just stop those thoughts immediately, just let it go, let it go. And that's like the hardest thing. That's why I'm learning attachment right now. How to
Yeah,
like
attachment sucks.
attachment is like one of the hardest lessons. Oh my God. But yeah, let it go. Just let it go. And that's easier said than done.
So with attachment, do you maybe want to talk about a little bit about last week or not yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. So I think um yeah, attachment is serious. What do you think is more painful, self-love or attachment?
Self love right
Why?
now. Because it's hard to love yourself, especially when like being honest with yourself is really hard. And, taking a look within and saying, you're like, yeah, this is where I need work. This is where, and like being like so straight up with yourself.
Yeah.
And like I made this list and I'm like, shit, that's pretty heavy stuff. And it's like, but I those are the things that I don't like about myself, and it's like, okay, well, now what? And I'm in the now what stage of like still like, okay, like accepting these things, like,
Mhm.
so what am I going to do now to change, to not be those things, and kind of figure out why and where they came from, all of these like I don't know if they're like bad characteristics or bad habits or something, but they're coping, yeah, like coping, or my protective coping skills that I created over the years.
Like the survival,
Yeah,
like you dip in and out of the survival mode.
yeah, exactly. Like living through your trauma, so you're surviving, right? And those are the
Yeah.
that's what I use to protect myself, is these, and it's like, well, okay, what are you protecting yourself from? And then it's like doing the inner child work
What are you
too.
protecting yourself from?
Abandonment.
What else?
I think abandonment is the one that just came into my head the most, because that was the biggest thing for me as a child, was the abandonment, and that was my first.
Do you fear being loved?
Oh my god, do I? I think so. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry.
You know,
Oh my god,
it's
but
allowed,
why?
right?
Yeah.
It's allowed. Like it's, you know what I mean? Like if you, for individuals, like I'll use me as an example too. You know what I mean? Like I haven't been loved properly,
Mm,
honestly. You know, but my son loves me unconditionally. He never
yeah.
asked for love. He never asks. He just gives it. Right? And
Yeah.
it's, you know, and again, the same thing with the kids. Remember we were just having a little
Yeah.
conversation about that. And it's to think, you know, even, you know, fear is a major factor for a lot of things, not even just love, success. Why? I think it's because why? Because nobody, you haven't been there, or I haven't been there,
Hmm.
right? Fear the unknown,
Yeah, definitely.
right? And it's, those are some major key factors that, you know, even I am in denial still to this day, right? But I can sit here and say, like, my son loves me unconditionally. And that's
Yeah.
exactly what true love feels like.
Man.
And when your kids can love you,
And
and
that's
when you
what,
love you, only you or your kids can do that. Nobody
exactly.
else. No outsiders.
And that's like the thing, I think, is because they love you so unconditionally, and then it's like you look at yourself like, how can you love me when I'm this? How can you love me when I did that? How can you love me like that when I did that? And then that shame comes, and then it's like they're our biggest teachers, but like, holy man, yeah, that's intense.
Yeah, I think, I think the thing sometimes I forget, like, my son chose me to be his mother, even through all my character defects. You know what I mean? He got to see from wherever,
Yeah.
like, oh, this mom's gonna be perfect for me, or this dad. Why? Because you're able to give your kids character development.
Mm.
This is what I believe.
That's what I always tell my kids, because like their past is really like hard. Like our life was really hard, and I'm just like, but look how awesome you guys are, developed your character.
Right? And it's,
Yeah.
because I see some kids. I'm not gonna point any fingers or anything, but some parents that haven't learned, or still close that blind eye. Kids are still sitting in right where their parents were back then,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
And it's, these are some. I'm just so grateful that I have the awareness. You know what I mean? And my awareness was never always there.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't. I had to go through so many trials and tribulations, and even to this day, still
It's
too. You know what I
still
mean? I
like,
still have to learn shit.
yeah,
You know what I
man.
mean? And I love even, you know, how you even carry your trials and tribulations with grace.
Mm.
Like you don't ever let nobody see that pain you go through in life. I've been watching, on all the platforms. Hey, you know what I mean? And that's what it is. That's, like that's exactly what it is. And this is why I believe the universe gifts the ones that, everyone's gifted,
Yeah.
but the ones who can fucking carry their shit with grace. Not like, oh my god, why me? You know what I
Oh,
mean? Like I used to be like that.
yeah, me
And I'm not
too.
gonna lie, I used to be like that
Yeah.
fully.
Yeah. When I
Like
wasn't.
why? But now I understand why. And it's like even I think we had this conversation the last time or somewhere in Facebook or something that like about the message. If I didn't go through the trials and tribulations, how would one be able to give back to society and share?
Right? It's like you got to learn
Yeah.
how to do this stuff first before you could teach other people. And it's, I don't know, at the end of the day, it's like, wow, that really,
Oh, real loud? Shut up. Fuck.
that really shaped me. Like, that's just like the attitude that I'm going into it now. And I just learned that today is like, how did that shape me? Instead of like, why, like last week, that's like, how did it shape me? And I'm like coming out of it. And well, I'm out of it, but it's like, how did that shape me? And I wouldn't have thought that if I never would have went
Can I
through
ask, how did you get sucked in?
that.
You don't have to go in details. Maybe just like one word.
Because it was familiar, I knew what to expect already.
Comfort.
The comfort, yeah,
Ah.
definitely the comfort.
Ah.
And I knew, yeah, it was comfortable and it was available. I really available. Like he was there 24/7, boom, ready to move in, and like, and that was the should have been the biggest red flag, but for me, because of like my attachment issues and because of like my control issues, it was just like, okay, I
What's
need
your
this for
zodiac
the
sign?
Aries.
Aries. Oh, I don't know much about Aries. But yeah, I know Scorpios. Fuck, they're controlling fuckers, and I'm a Scorpio, so I'm a November Scorpio.
Oh, I had lots of Scorpios in my life. Those were like my biggest teachers when I was younger.
Right? And it's like I find
that makes so much sense.
what was I gonna say? The comfort.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something was like tell her. I'm like, well, okay, what?
But
And
I'm over
I think
it.
that's the sucky thing about the comfort. It's like, oh yeah, that's what it is. So anything that comes easy never lasts. Anything that you have to work hard for always stays.
I know.
And it's like, trust me, I still like the easy way too.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the easy way is easy.
When I do want to act up.
No, the easy way is definitely easy. That was easy.
What's another topic we should touch base on?
I don't know. What questions did you have?
Oh, I think I asked you all in the beginning. I thought I had to go through the book, but it was just like ding, ding, ding. What time is it? 30? Should we touch base or should we just wrap it up?
It's up to you. I don't know. I'm kind of just like thinking about all the stuff now. So my brain's going. I'm just processing everything because I learned so much in this conversation. Like just bing, bing, bing,
it's
bing.
Nice, you know, and that's
yeah.
the thing about vibration. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, you know, I touched base on things you didn't even say. You know what I mean? Or things that you probably would have never even brought up.
Yeah.
And it's like the vibration, even spirit allows those conversations just to flow only because it increments. What's that word? It matches.
Aligns.
It aligns, right? If it's for you, you know what I mean? So I can't really have a conversation with somebody if it doesn't align.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't make sense, right? But with the conversation today, it was like,
no, it was
you know what I mean? It's almost like maybe triggered, activated. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
it was definitely
right. And I think that's why I believe that people, places, and things always come into play, because there's things that, you know, if I want to look at pieces of myself, I can probably look at it, but it was like when I go to sleep and I go visit spirit, like the spirit world, then I would be able to get that kind of information until I meet someone that gives me that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right. And so like, even like when I need to do shadow work, you know, it takes a long time. And this is why, again, people meet, because the things that people don't want to look at within, they need that other this is a counterpart. Not all counterparts have to be sexual, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't even know how to explain it.
I know what you mean. It's just kind of like,
yeah, and it just, you know, it helps. It helps you to help me.
No,
does that make sense?
Yeah, we're growing together.
Right.
We're building blocks together.
Right. You know
now.
what I mean? And
yeah.
it's like, for me, like, it feels so good. Like, you know, when I receive those downloads to deliver to you, it's like, oh, and I hit, you know what I mean? And it's like
Yeah.
the conversation could just
Wow, that was intense because it was just like you just ripped the band-aid off and I was like, oh wow. Like I didn't even know that was there. And so
right.
but it's like exactly what I needed at this time of my like journey, what I'm going through, because like the whole of everything right now, because I'm like so open right now. It was like, yes, that's exactly what I needed at this moment. So I love that.
Right, and that's the thing. When we think we're alone, the universe, most high, creator, God will always send somebody in the path
Yeah, and it's
just
like
to
there's
help.
somebody like we crave those like those empty interactions that
Yeah.
like that's like the ego, right? The ego wanting some validation or whatever. But then I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do that shit anymore, you know? And then you came into that, you're like, okay, let's do podcast. And it was like, okay, you're ready because you're focused.
Have you worked with your alter ego? Not your ego, your alter ego.
I think I'm in love with my alter ego like too much, and I just put her into play all like as a protection because my alter ego
Mm.
was always Shamu, and like it's like that's an identity that we talk about a lot in my household because it comes out and it's like, wow, calm down,
Does
Shamu.
she only come out when you drink?
She comes out. Actually, she hasn't been coming out, but she's comes out in when I'm triggered in relationships, like that, like vicious, like I don't know, like she's like
Oh, she's the one, like, I'm not gonna say backbone, but almost like backbone.
yeah, the backbone, but like protecting, like just
Yeah.
like boom, like here. I don't know, like she just like comes and just like boom. I don't know. And like when I'm triggered in relationships and like pushes them, almost like pushes them away, like
Mm.
just like that. And so it's like okay, like protection, if that makes sense. Like
No, it
she
does.
is a lot stronger than and more crazier than I am.
It make totally makes sense. That's why I asked, and I think on a not an everyday basis, but you know, one before my feet touch the ground, it's like, hey, come on, we're gonna work. You're gonna work today, not me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's. I wouldn't say we're intertwined, but we're not intertwined. I don't know. Like I don't know how to explain it. When you know when you wake up in the morning and you can kind of already feel how the day is gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be like that. And then I'll ask her to work at the forefront. Santana is what I call her.
Nice. I love that. No, I get it. And like there's you can feel the separation
Yeah,
of
you
like
can.
you
Yeah,
can like of like who you are,
yeah,
of who this is, and you're like, okay, ladies, like
yeah, yeah. Like
let's all
you know, someone who
let's all
doesn't
be on the same
understand. They'll
page.
be like, "Oh my god, what the fuck are you talking
Yeah,
about?" You know, it's
personalities, you
like
guys are
I can
fucked.
feel the switch though. Like I really
Definitely.
can. Like you know, like even my son's father, he's starting to recognize. You know, and I today we were talking.
Yeah, you better recognize.
I told him like I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to your ego. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like because I can see like when people switch in and I can see and feel it, right? So it's like okay, all
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
you know, like it's
Yeah.
doesn't. I think it's a how would I say? I think it's a fair game. You know what I mean? Like when the ego or the alter ego talk together, not the vessel. Like you know what I
Mm.
mean? Like that's just it's not fair. Everything I think everything should be fair when people conversate. You know,
Like be
especially for me.
genuine.
Like yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really hard for me to have. That's why I like to stay in solitude because it's kind of hard for me to have those like normal conversations. You know, the
Right?
ones where you're just talking, you're just kind of like in your mind, like zoning out or like, fuck this
Oh,
just
what is that
sucks.
called? It's called did.
Disassociation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I could sometimes I feel myself drifting off. People will be talking I'm like, what?
Yeah. And then I'm just like, yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's great. And it's like
You know?
it's so
I
draining.
think we talked about this last time, yeah. And it is, you know, it
Like I
is
want to
kind of
talk about the
draining.
deep shit. I want to talk about like like
Right?
your
Like I want to
trauma or
hear
like your
I want to hear like for me, I fucking dead ass like
I want to hear the real ass
again, like
shit.
when I go on the dating sites, when people are like, "Hey, how are you?" I'm like, "Okay, yeah, no, hold on a minute. I'm gonna start this conversation, and then we'll see where you know it gives me the ability to see where they're at on the spectrum." And I ask like, you know, what's your favorite color? You know, what's your perspective on life?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like shit like that. And if they don't reply, it's like, okay,
Just boom, just hit him
all
with
right,
a
bye.
just hit him with the like
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to hear the "Hey, how are you?" because I'm always good.
yeah.
It doesn't matter the weather. I'm always good. It could be cloudy. I'm still good.
Mm.
Right. So it's like
That's
Don't
so
ask me
boring.
that shit.
So generic.
Right? Like it's
Yeah.
for me, it doesn't make sense, you know?
And that's the thing is like the conversation that's like the good connection, like the, you know, when you can have those deep conversations, it's like, yeah, that's the vibration in the world.
Right? And that's the energy there. And you know,
And you're like, wow, it's still up there. But it's very, very hard to find that.
it's like little hidden gems. They're just all over Calgary. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But where are they? They're on the dating apps and they can't find nobody. Why? Because the vibration doesn't match for them.
Yeah, that makes
Right?
sense. Mm.
And it's like, yeah, people can go to meetings, but there's only so many fucking meetings you can go to. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Like nobody's perfect. You know, everyone has their character defects, but I want to find out your traumas one on one, not in a group.
Yeah,
Right? Like
exactly.
it's what time are we at? Should we cut it?
25 minutes.
Huh?
25.
25. Okay. Well, that's a wrap, yeah?
Yeah, sure.
Well, that's a wrap. If you like, subscribe, comment.
Mm.
See you next time. Love and light.